Hello, Dr. Childress here. Welcome. Welcome to the Books from My Garage series. So I went out to my garage and grabbed books that I think make a point to forensic psychology about what standards of practice are in clinical psychology. Because clinical psychology is returning to court-involved practice, and so the standards are going to become established again. We're going to return to standards of practice and actual requiring professional knowledge. So this is an interesting book. You, for those of you who follow me, have heard me cite this a lot. Intrusive Parenting, How Psychological Control Affects Children and Families by Brian Barber. And again, one of the interesting aspects of this book for me is the publisher for this book. So you can look at the publisher here, the American Psychological Association. Okay. So the American Psychological Association published this book by Brian Barber, Intrusive Parenting, How Psychological Control Affects Children and Parents. And what this is just a bunch of research articles that were kind of compiled in the book. So each one of these people did a research study or something, and then they put it all together in the book. Psychological Control of Children. You can see all my underlines and stuff on this book. It's a really interesting concept. For those of you who are using the idea of brainwashing, stop doing that. That's a bad term. Use psychological control. That's the phrase we want to use, because it's amply demonstrated in the research literature. I'm looking for that. Oh, here it is. So in chapter 2, Brian Barber and Elizabeth Harmon, and they have this table in chapter 2 where it's all the studies that have been done on this construct of psychological control. And so you can see, look at all these studies on the psychological control of children. Okay, that's a pretty fair amount of studies. They have like over 30 studies that demonstrate the construct of psychological control of children. So it is a well-established construct. American Psychological Association publishes. And so when we have to get into the manipulation of the child or brainwashing or those kinds of things that people want to get into, use the word psychological control. It's grounded in the scientific research. And then once you get into it, it's really disturbing the degree of pathology in these families that mental health people are just missing. It's your ignorance is just allowing kids to be psychologically brutalized by a narcissistic borderline parent. And you're allowing that because you don't know what you're doing. So anyway, this is Brian Barber's book on intrusive parenting. I think I have even up on my website the bibliography for this that lists a lot of these articles and a lot of these studies and some of the quotes out of them. So, intrusive parenting. So follow me over to the next video and we'll continue on through my books from the garage.